session for the inaugural
What a great honor
address.
to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America.
Welcome, everyone, to the Friday Free for All. I got to tell you, it has been one heck of a wild ride this week. And I've got a lot to talk to you about. I'm going to bring it to you free for all style, but I've got some bad news. There will be no participation with you guys live. Sadly, a dear friend of the show has had a loved one pass away, and I'll be attending a funeral. So you're going to get me covering this week's free-for-all material. And boy, I'll tell you, we have some good stuff. Or is it bad stuff? You see, it's really hard to say these days. You know, we've got the way we think, the things we believe. We came to these conclusions based on what's happening out there. It's not that we want things to fall apart and that we want things to be screwed up. It's just that they are. So when we see the things we've seen this week, it justifies the actions we've taken and the beliefs we've adopted. It's like I take great pride in seeing that the world is falling apart. It's not that. Is it like happy? I'm not happy that everything's taking a shit. And so I get to, use my preparations. It's not that. But good golly, these people are idiots. And if anyone's going to tap dance on them, it's us. And folks, I want to start with a big one. This guy has earned the Horse's Ass Award. One of the greatest assholes to ever grace the NFL field, television, social media, even politics, has a huge impact on race relations in this country. The jackass himself, Colin Kaepernick, former quarterback. I think he's a turd, right? He had his chance at greatness, a starting quarterback in the NFL. Couldn't keep his freaking mouth shut. Had to use his uniform as a political platform. Riled up racial BS everywhere. There was a time in America, folks, after the race crap of the 60s, when we all just kind of got along. And then this jackass had to put his 2 cents in. Now, folks, he's pleading for a chance to play in the NFL again. Quote, I just need an opportunity. No, dickhead, you had an opportunity. Had it. It was given to you. They even begged you to come back, and you refused and wanted to play badass social stud, whatever the hell you thought you were doing. He had his chance, folks, but he chose racism and he chose hatred. Do you think the NFL is going to take him back? Do you think they need that kind of press again? How long would it be before Colin Kaepernick, upon his triumphant return to the NFL, loses his starting position because he sucks or starts a bunch more racial crap? Yeah, the league would do well to keep him out of there. Hey, not my call. Not my monkey, not my circus, I think is the expression. Colin Kaepernick, you've earned the Horse's Ass of the Week. Wow, folks, and it continues, right? This week, what else happened? Well, the British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC. These people are sick, folks. They canceled the program. Is that why they're sick? No, they're sick because they created a program, folks. It was a nude sex education theater targeting children. And they promoted pleasure, queerness, and gender whatever to children, folks, and wanted to show them erections. Yeah, well, they got death threats. Well, thank you, England, for stepping up and saying, hey, I guess Rainbow Monkey Dildo Butt Plug Boy, who showed up to read children's stories. I guess that wasn't enough. Rainbow Dildo Monkey Butt Plug. That was months ago. Now they're trying nude sex education theater. There is no end to the sickness of these people, folks. There's no end to their perversion. Unbelievable. This week, oh, you bet, in the free-for-all, let's talk about Democrats. In Rhode Island, the Democrats there have created a bill, a law that they want to pass to double state income tax. No, don't worry. It's only for parents who have unvaccinated minor children. So on top of the record-breaking inflation, on top of the out-of-control gas prices rising, out of and beyond the promise of food shortages, folks, in the near term, and the extended promises and threat of major increases in the cost of energy, in the new green tax, the state of Delaware has this to show, has this to shower on the people's heads, right? Another tax increase for a political screw job, for a medical nightmare. I have said repeatedly, folks, that the Great Reset is a punishment and also a wealth transfer agenda. Am I right? Are you right? Do we know what's going on here? Folks, we were not wrong. And it becomes more obvious daily that the naked violation of our constitutional God-given rights is intentionally being carried out with prejudice in regard to the law of the land and against our nature as free men. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that just astounding, folks, that this is where they're at? They're not going to quit, are they? They're not. No, not at all, folks. Now, you want to see something that's done right? Down in Texas, Governor Abbott says that they should absolutely use the constitutional invasion powers on the border to stop what's going on. In fact, I think there's well more than a dozen now, folks, a dozen United States governors that are backing a Protect the Border program. That is supposed to be, folks, the federal government's job, but they're not doing it. In the event any government agency fails to do its job, someone has to step into the gap. Give them hell, Governor Abbott. Give them hell, everyone. It is time to take back control of our country peacefully, without violating any law, without harming anyone, right? But the fact that the federal government is just absent, in this case, there's a power vacuum. And I'd rather have it filled with Border Patrol agents on the border than to have our country filled with illegal immigrants. Now, speaking of that, folks, a Mexican woman died of asphyxiation. Not in a jail cell next to our good buddy from Little St. James Island, right? Jeffrey Epstein. No, she died of asphyxiation. She was trying to climb over the wall, the border wall. She got stuck upside down and died. Now, as terrible as that is, folks, I want to know how long it is until Mexican illegals are climbing over the wall to get out of America because Biden and the Democrats have absolutely ruined it, and there's nothing left here for them to take advantage of. Maybe that's Joe's plan all along. Great plan, Joe. Great plan, right? You know, Joe has no idea who he is, what he's doing, where he's at, or anything. He stood up and said, it's very clear. It's up to us to decide if we want to wear masks. And then within hours, the White House spokes team wanted to walk that back and say, no, Joe was mistaken. How can the president say anything he wants and it doesn't matter? It matters if it comes to taxing us, spending our money, screwing us over, taking our rights, and of course, fondling kids. But when it comes to acknowledging law, being restricted by law, acknowledging the Constitution and our rights. Anything the president says, no, he got that wrong. You misunderstood him. No, we didn't. We didn't misunderstand him a bit. In fact, they couldn't have that. They couldn't just say, no, we're going to. No, the Biden Department of Justice, folks, they're not just taking back Joe's words. They're going to be the ones suing. That's right, folks, going to the U.S. Federal Court of Appeals to appeal the mask mandate ruling that came out of the federal judge who said this is unconstitutional, because they want to make sure that masks continue to be worn on planes and trains. Folks, the DOJ is filing a lawsuit, right? It's ruled unconstitutional. So the Department of Justice, aren't they just law enforcement? They're doctors, they're biologists. Right. The CDC, folks, is off its rocker. Dr. F is wildly corrupt. Big Farm will be overrun with torches and pitchforks, folks, when the truth is finally revealed to grieving victims. And the Department of Justice right now wants to appeal a ruling that we are free. We are a free people. All of us, folks. Unbelievable. Unbelievable this week, folks. Let's go international, right? Russia expels 36 European Union diplomats this week. Well, that sounds pretty rough, right? Well, don't worry. The European nations kicked out 400 Russian officials. Booted them out. Who is more extreme? 36 different countries or 400 Russians sent back home? It's very interesting. This Cold War, folks, they ain't joking. They're not joking about the war any more than they're joking about cerveza bug, any more than they're joking about screwing up our food supply. How much did we have to hear this week, folks, about the decrease in rice production? How much did we have to hear about fertilizer not coming here, not being imported, and not being transported around the country on rail cars? How much more do we have to hear before we realize they're not on our side? Our own government doesn't appear to be on our side. It comes after us, and it goes after people, nations that supply us. I mean, it's disheartening. It's terrible. It is absolutely terrible, folks. They 100% want a Cold War. The U.S. Treasury Secretary, the Federal Reserve Chairman, they walked out of a G20 meeting. G20, the 20 biggest governments in the world, biggest economies. So Janet Yellen and Powell get up and walk out as the Russian official started talking. There's no civility with these frickin' people, folks. Now, I understand. War is war, and all is fair in love and war. But they won't even talk to the guy. Unbelievable. Because you, and many of us know exactly what's going on in Ukraine. It's not about the Ukraine people. It's not about freedom. It's a frickin' sham, and they all know it. And they're all playing this game, folks, playing this game. They're throwing money down a black hole with Ukraine, trying to save it, salvage it, spending a shit pile of money, taxing us. Now, I want to draw your attention to the four horsemen. We've all heard of the four horsemen, right? This anti-benevolent power structure in the Book of Revelations. Death, famine, war, pestilence, riding across the world. Well, gee whiz, war. They're pushing war, folks. Famine, they're creating it. We have all the means of agricultural development, growth, production. And they're totally trashing it. And pestilence, of course, disease. Well, we can't have one natural. Let's just make one. Welcome to 2022, folks. The Great Reset is here. You bet. You bet. Incredible. And here's a suspicious one for you, folks. Is this a space-based weapons attack, or just a mere coincidence? Because in Russia, a huge fire breaks out, folks, at the Air Space Defense Research Institute. How does that just happen? Have we seen it where fires just start? They just start. And then they become a conflagration. Yeah, we've seen it, folks. And it's interesting, yeah. Space weapons versus space weapons. What else is happening? I want to know what else is happening in this world, folks, that we can't see and we don't know about, but the conflict is going. Cyber war, space war. Unbelievable. Biden says it's questionable whether Russia actually controls Mariupol. I tell you what, if there's a question about it, why doesn't he send Kamala Harris over to check it out for herself and then report back to us? Or if not that, how about CNN? Why doesn't CNN send some of its camera commandos over there to check it out? Because Putin says not even a fly will escape where the Ukrainian militants were hiding. They've got it surrounded. Do we need to keep playing this game? Folks, I think it's questionable whether or not Biden knows what state he is in or whether or not his underwear are clean. I mean, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the word games are over. Elon Musk has unveiled $46 billion in financing that he has for a Twitter takeover. He's serious, folks. No more word games, snowflakes. He's trolled you. He's messed with you. He's got you to cry, whine, snivel. Free for all Friday, folks. Twitter looks like it is cooked. If they want to do the poison pill, they're cooked again. It's a no-win for them, but they don't know it because they aren't that bright. And speaking of not bright, some guy got on a plane and lo and behold, there was Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, he's going to whip the math. Mike Tyson, known for his violence as a boxer and as a civilian. Right? Some guy took some selfies with him and then wouldn't stop talking to him. Chatterbox in his ear. Tyson warned him, hey man, chill out. The dude wouldn't chill out, so Tyson turned around and beat the ever-loving shit out of him. Now, all the comments on the news story, people said the cool things. Hey man, mess with the bull, get the horns. Right? It's Mike Tyson. Don't mess with Mike Tyson. He wanted attention, he got it. We need more problems solved like this, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I agree, those are all cool sayings and stuff, but I thought about it. Maybe this guy isn't actually stupid. Maybe he's brilliant, and this was a brilliant move. He didn't punch Mike, and Mike beat his face badly just for talking to him. I see a serious lawsuit and settlement coming for this guy. The knucklehead, while missing a few teeth, may end up a tad wealthier. Your free for all Friday question the wisdom moment. It may have been a wise move for this guy. I mean, if he's that dumb, odds are he wouldn't do well in life anyway. So getting rich this way getting $1 million settlement, who knows? And the claim that he was intoxicated, prove it. And if he was intoxicated, then he can sue the airplane for letting him on in an intoxicated state. Crazy stuff, folks. What kind of world do we live in? I wanted to give that guy the horse's ass award, but Colin Kaepernick, he earned it. But we do have a sad note here. CNN Plus, the news app, is going to shut down only after 1 month. It's been launched for 1 month, folks. 1 month, $150 million spent to build this app and hire bullshit MSM mainstream media talent. And they folded like a cheap suit. 10 years, folks, 10 years. You and I, have battled to grow the Prepared Mind into a network, a store. 10 years, folks, doing a channel about SHTF and the need to be prepared for emergencies, and we have made it 10 years, and we continue to do so without $150 million. just with you supporting all that we do. One super chat donation, one Patreon supporter at a time. If you're not at Patreon, join at Patreon. It's $2 a month, 7 cents a day, 7 cents, literally a day. And you can join us Monday through Friday for live chat in the afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Every day we do a video with live Q&A. So I hope to get a lot more of you over at Patreon, because we can be kicked right off of YouTube, folks. They can decide 10 years, your time is up, John. You had your chance. Right? No money, no parting gift, just GTFO. So we'll stay on Patreon, folks. But I need you guys to be there with us in case they kick us off of YouTube. We need you to keep prepping because things aren't getting better. We need you to help others because not everyone is going to figure this out themselves. They need to hear it from you. They need to be prepared because chance favors the prepared mind. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. All of it. You guys have a great weekend. I'm going to go take care of some personal issues as stated at the beginning. And I'll be back for Sunday Night Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Bring your drinks. Bring your brains. Did I say bring your drinks? Get a comfortable chair, and we'll sit down and talk. Because this weekend, I know stuff's going to bust loose, and we're going to need to be prepared for what's coming. Godspeed to all. Semper Fi means always faithful. Thank you again for all you do for the Prepared Mind Network and your fellow Americans and fellow free people around the world. I'll see you soon.